get into a nice career, and I really didn't know what it means as a nice career because it was just like hierarchy step from top down. If you get more numbers, more degree, more scores, you get into certain professions. If you get less, you get into different professions. And I never had a chance to actually think, do I really like any of these? Do I really want any of these? Is this what I want? But the hierarchy was there, and I thought, hey, being successful, grab the most, get the most. Did it make me happy? Did I enjoy it? Of course I did. Because you can enjoy whatever you get to a certain extent if you have the mindset to enjoy it. I moved forward and I found that I'm still chasing the happiness and satisfaction. So I get degrees, I get into professional school, and I'm still waiting for tomorrow to come to be happy. So I work harder to get tomorrow. Now I have a degree, I'm a professional, I have this. I think, oh, great, you have this. Maybe if you go through your residency and you become a superstar and you get a great education, you're going to enjoy being a successful professional. So I defer my success celebration, defer my happiness till tomorrow. And tomorrow, I finish the second task that takes 5 years. It feels great, but I'm still chasing something ahead of me. Did I ever stop and say, what do I really want? Am I enjoying what I have achieved? Am I giving myself credit? Am I giving my Lord credit? Am I giving the setup around me credit for all what I have been given or what I have achieved? The answer is, personally, I forgot. I was too busy looking for the next goal and kept going. So success for me was something that I will get tomorrow and I'll be very happy with it tomorrow. Took me a long time to learn, hey, if you don't enjoy what you have today, there is no point in working hard for it. So I started to learn, stop, think of what you got, start enjoying what you have. So let's go back to success and say, what's the definition of success? Yeah, as for me, it was every stage of my life, different definition. For others, it is financial security. For others, being in a beautiful relationship to feel safe and secure. For others, they don't want much. They just want to be content and happy with whatever they have. So to start this presentation, I decided to go to Oxford Dictionary because just like helps me say what we are looking at. And according to Oxford Dictionary, it is the accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. That's success. This is one out of 117 different definitions online for success, but this is the one I chose to use. What is the aim? What's the purpose that I'm trying to accomplish? That's a question that each of you should ask himself. What's your aim? What's your purpose? Where do you want to end? Because if you don't know where you want to end, you will end somewhere where you didn't want to be. And the outcome of that, you will be feeling, I didn't do it well. I didn't get there. So if I interrupt this discussion for like a couple of minutes and go through, would anyone volunteer? What's the aim of success? Go for it. So that's Mirat Awadallah. That she's implanted because she shares my genetics.
No, I recently had to do the leadership course confirming figuring out what your core values are. And those core values can be a whole host of things, like hundreds of words. And you go through, you choose like 10 that you feel speak to you, and then you think of a moment in your life when you felt most yourself, most comfortable, most happy, most proud. And you tell that story to someone, and then they tell back to you what they think their values were that you were bringing to them. And then you have those, and it boils down to 2 or 3 or 1. So you have those as your kind of like coming back point, and that's really helpful because in any situation you can feel like, am I being guided by my values right now, or am I doing something else? When you're doing something else, you'll feel unfulfilled because it's not accomplishing, like really. And yeah, and so I can't remember what mine were anymore, because I haven't been thinking about it that much, but like I think one was like, you know, community or like friendship or something like that. And then one was not, I'll take a picture and I'll send it when I go home, but it's really great because then you're, using it as like a non-stationary like marker of success. You're never gonna reach it and then be like, okay, well I did that, now I have to do something else. It's just like a constant like assurance of living.
Thank you very much for putting yourself on the spot. But if I may follow this with another question, if I want you to consider giving us the simplified version of the core values that you think that will make you feel good.
It's not about what the core values are, it's about what you identify as. It's like what you feel most. If it's, you know, having sacred whatever, those values, like if your core value is like leadership, like I feel like I'm most myself and most peaceful to everyone, and it feels good to be a leader, and then in situations use that as a guiding light. It's not about that being like the right core value for everyone. And there's always things that like would make you feel happy in your life, like living out of love and having, you know, compassion for yourself and that kind of thing. But it's different. It's not, there's no right answer. It's just figuring out what that answer is.
I'm so grateful for your input, honestly.
Thank you.
We have the environment calling and sending a message of success is having a real purpose in life.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Success is so online. There is one of the friends saying that success is having a real purpose in life, and that's why you wake up in the morning and you're so eager to keep going, and you feel that it's worth living, and you don't feel like, okay, I'm going to crumble in my bed for another 3 days. I don't want to leave my bed, because you have a purpose in life. That's great. Steph.
In this case, though, you can add some example of getting out of bed. Just getting out of bed when you feel like that is a successful thing, for example. If your goal in life, or if you feel down, if you feel like if you're in depression, if you're in depression, you're lethargic, you're in bed, just getting out of bed is a success in and of itself that should be celebrated.
Allow me to repeat that, because I don't know if the people online will hear you. This is Stephanie. She is saying that when you feel down, you feel beaten, getting out of bed is a success. Just making yourself succeed and getting yourself over the depression or over the feeling down or over being beaten, and getting out of bed is a success, which is, we'll get to that actually in the discussion, and that's very, very big thing. How do you get over the obstacles in front of you? Anyone else wants to say what's success? Go ahead, Matt.
I think the definition, when you take your definition of being different stages of life, or that was for me was very proud of this. And reaching the top in the area of my own comfort zone and being successful in what I'm good at. But when events happen or things you can get put like in a challenging situation and you're dealing with it even if it's not even if you're not efficient, but you're still going and not giving up and having perseverance. That itself, even if everything you do is wrong, you're still challenging yourself and facing the uncertainty. So being courageous enough to, it's okay, I'm not good at this, or this is not my thing, but I will do it my best. So success is not, so even though this is not my area, I'm giving my best.
So for people online, Mark was saying that even if you're not getting the most success or whatever, challenging yourself when you feel that things are not going good and being persistent, being able to try again and keep going is success, which matches very much with what Steph was saying. If you are beaten, getting yourself out of bed is a success. Am I understanding it correct? Okay. Anyone else want to challenge the simple definition that I added? I think you're all amazed with the definition I'm giving you, which is having to accomplish an aim or a purpose. And in your case, the aim or purpose was being up on your feet again when things are not going great. In your example, being able to overcome the burden of feeling yucky and feeling that I can't do it, I'm going to stay in bed, getting out of the bed. With Miret, she was saying that you identify what is core values that you really like, that you enjoy, you focus on them, and you start trying to accomplish more of them. So I have two verses that I'm going to use, guys, and I want you to just bear with me. So Genesis 39:2, the Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered. And this is one that from our childhood. وَكَانَ رَبٌّ مَعَ يُوسُفَ فَكَانَ رَجُلًا نَاجِحًا. This was stamped, physically stamped into our hearts as little kids in Sunday school. And that was just like, hey, this is what you go back to. If the Lord is with you, you are very likely to be successful. And this is, if you analyze this is far deeper than the words. This is actually a huge support that you're allowing yourself to get, having the mighty himself being with you. And if he's being with you, you are more likely to challenge the situations, you are more likely to feel strong, you're more likely to be able to get out of your bed. Or for me, I'm more likely to be brave and leave my hands in the air where I'm doing my bike at grade 3 or 4, go to an exam, and instead of, or in spite of, hoping that the university is on fire so I don't have to set the exam. And this was just a ridiculous thing that I've always had. It was pharmacology, where I go drive into the school and I'm hoping that there will be fire brigades around the school and the exam is cancelled.
It actually happened for me once.
Prayers do get answered.
Yeah, but prayers answered. See, I was doing postgrad in Alexandria in the faculty of dentistry, and near the end, that was October 1993, and our exam was in November, and all of a sudden, one of the profs did one lecture. It was Cambridge, and he gave us unbelievable tasks to do. Like, it was like, we're gonna that class was about 30 people doing this postgraduate study, and he gave us a lot of requirements, a lot of things to do, and it was unbelievable. And the second day after that, the earthquake happened in Egypt, and the faculty was closed because there was cracks in the building, and everybody was saying, "All our brains have been," and we didn't have to do any of this requirement. It was ready for the exam, so we got our certificate at the end. But we didn't have to follow that crazy requirement. So this was one time everybody was in the class saying, "Oh my God, how this happened?"
So
And it's a very famous earthquake in Egypt. Everything was shut down after that because the building had this. 1992, October 1992. So this.
Successful in the prayer.
So I was very successful in my prayer.
so for people
Words your heart is
for people online, when I said when I was going to pharmacology exam and hoping that the university is on fire, Hala Salama, she shared that 1992, one of the profs gave them crazy hardcore task that's not doable, and there was collective feeling that God do something about it. And the day after, there was an earthquake in Egypt, 1992, the famous one. So she didn't have to do these tasks. And Stephanie was saying, so this is success of the group prayer.
Prayers.
Okay, so let me go one more verse that I love. So in Isaiah say, so do not fear, for I am with you. Let's just take it step at a time. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. And look at these very clear words. I will strengthen you and help you. And this is the Lord talking to you. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So this is, if you take this one as the promise from the Lord, do not fear, I'm with you, don't be dismayed, for I am your God. I'll strengthen you and help you. I'll uphold you with my righteous right hand. What I like in this one is that it doesn't have much conditions. It's not like, hey, you do this, or I'll be with you if you do this and this and this and this. He promising he will be with you. Just open the door. He's knocking at your door. If you open the door, he will help you. But he can't really crash into your house because he has far more love to you than walking over your own desires. All what you have to do is say, I think I need you. I really need you. With these two verses, I will move forward to my goal. When we said there is a purpose in life, there is something for me to achieve, I'm going to go beyond my daily goals and I look at why I'm on earth, why am I here, and I know that I want to reach home. I want to go home, and home is my eternal life with Jesus. And I know that if I fulfill the commandment, I am likely to get there. But they are too many and too complicated if I listen to everyone who wants to lecture me in the church. And some of them, they make me feel like I am going to be in hell if I ate this. I'm going to be in hell if I did not listen to this. I'll be in hell if I listen to this music. I'll be in hell if I was wearing tight pants. I'll be in hell if my hair is too curly. I'll be in hell if my mustache is not really shaved. So all these make me feel like I hate myself because I'm never ever going to get there. And for that, I stick to this one because I am simple and I like. So this is my commandment. This is John 15:12, and this is the words of the Lord himself. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. And I decided at a younger age that I'm going to stick with one single task and do it properly and see how I feel. If I'm successful reaching that task, which is the commandment of the Lord, that this is my commandment, that you love one another as I loved you. If I am able to actually go through the layers of barriers and reach that goal, then for me, I am successful. What comes with this is a huge list of accomplishments that comes like on the side when you are doing this. So, as we said, success, achieve my goal, and if my goal is love one another, then I work on that slowly. To love one another, I start by, I'm not sure if people online will see this, it's too small, okay. So the first one is to love yourself. Because if you can't love yourself, how will you love one another? Then if you are capable of reaching that goal, loving yourself, which is a huge task, because quite often we are angry with ourselves, we are frustrated with ourselves, we are beating ourselves right and left. We are being so hard on ourselves because that's how we were taught. You are going to be burning in hell if you did not do this. You are going to be, if you choose to eat this, you are going to lose your eternal life. If you choose to feel some feelings, then you are really going astray and you're never going to go home. So how do we get over all these negatives that have been thrown on us from our culture, from some of the teaching of people who love us, but they are so scared and so afraid, and from their fear that we go astray, they are pushing us to the point of breaking. They make it impossible for us to go to our loving ourselves, loving people around us, loving the Lord. We'll go through loving ourselves and how we go through this difficulty. Then we upgrade to love the people around us, the close people. Love your family, brothers, sisters, uncles, your best friend, your future person. Then you upgrade from the close contacts to people around you, whoever is around you, to be able to actually feel love towards them and respect towards them and feel that they are the sons and daughters of the Lord, even if they are not really too close to you. Then if you are really, really successful, you'll be able to love others who fail to love you. So it's not like if you love me, I'll love you back. No. Even if you don't love me, I'm still looking at you with the heart that you are the son of the Lord, the daughter of the Lord, and you're having a difficult time and unable to love me, or if you see me in an awkward way that makes you feel he's arrogant, he's unpleasant, he should not be talking to me, that's perfectly fine. This is credit points for you because you have felt bad towards other people in the past. So at least when you ask the Lord to forgive you, you have forgiven others for not feeling great about you. And if I reach that one, then I go to my aim, which is reaching success. Then we celebrate success when we do so. This is terrible, but each of us at some point have felt so, or made others feel so. As in the pre-meeting discussion, when we said you talking to your kids saying, oh, you can do better, and Stephanie did not like this and said, this is really, really not helpful to the kids. This has always been bugging me. Could have done better. And if this comes from me, it's easier than if it comes from people around me telling me you should do better. So the discussion before the meeting, where Mina and Seth, we're trying to say, how can we encourage people, how we can empower people to figure out the strengths they have and they do better without destroying them in the process. I was told multiple times in my life, you should be doing better. I was actually kicked out of surgery suite once in my life because the person I was attending, working with, he was running into trouble. So somebody had to be told, terrible, you should consider doing something other than laparoscopy. Anyhow, often we feel that we are not worthy of what we have. We've given more than what we should. We are not really worthy of it. We are fake. You're just fake. You are not really as successful as you are. What is imposter syndrome?
Exactly what you're saying. It's very, like, there's a lot of awareness about it now, that some people have this imposter syndrome, that they feel like they're an imposter. Like, I'm not, like, for example, if I'm a pharmacist, maybe I don't deserve to be a pharmacist. Maybe I don't even know that my
Number one, you forgive me because I'll ask you your first name. Myrna. So for people who are online and they're not hearing Myrna is saying that when you feel that you're not worthy, it's imposter syndrome. And there is more knowledge about it nowadays, where you feel like I'm not worthy of being a pharmacist. I'm not worthy of being the accountant. I'm not worthy of being the... So I'm repeating what she's saying because I don't think you can hear her. I would love to, if you... So she's saying that you feel that you don't know enough, you're not really knowledgeable enough, you're not worthy of doing this. And all of us had this feeling at different levels, different stages of our lives, and just eats you. Then you get to be angry with yourself that you missed the point, you missed the chance. Why didn't I do this and just like jump into that train, and now I would have graduated with this and this. Why didn't I accept this job and done this? Why didn't I marry this girl and now I would have had 3 kids and I would have been anger? And you start feeling ashamed of yourself that you didn't make correct decisions. You're not really clever enough. If we allow ourselves to be beaten by this, we are going to feel really down.
I think it's something to get over self-esteem, like this is, I think kind of a self-esteem issue as well, like, you don't deserve that, and then you set your goals according to what you feel. So you might have lower your expectation, and you won't reach a higher level because of, I don't think I can do that anyway, so I will.
So proud of you. So proud of you. So, Hala Salama, well, she's the only wife I have, thanks God. Hala was saying that if you allow this to beat you, you might be lowering your targets, your ambitions, and you start feeling that having lower self-esteem makes you are not worthy to shoot for the stars. And you're becoming like, hey, my targets are less and my hopes are less. So that's very, very helpful, because that's something I personally will touch on it in a minute. Let's say this in Arabic, then I'll say it in English. لا تشمتي بي عدوتي لأني إن سقطت أقوم. For guys who don't have the skill of understanding Arabic, it's in English, which is difficult for me. Don't rejoice over me, my enemy. When I fall, I will arise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord will be a light to me. This is Micha 7:8. This was one of the imprinted verses that somehow stuck to my brain. Whenever I feel terrible, when I feel that these tasks are not doable, when I feel 9 out of 11 subjects in an exam, as has happened to me, I think it was 1988, I had some tears, which is not very, very usual for me. And instead of being angry with myself and frustrated, I just remembered, لا تشمت بي عدوتي لأني إن سقطت وأقوم. And how am I going to arise? It is the promise that was given to me that do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed. I will strengthen you and help you. So if you connect the dots of what gets imprinted in your brain as helping tools, you can get over it. So, لا تشمتي بي عدوتي, don't rejoice over me when I fall. If I believe in this one, second step, I'm not going to be terrified from falling. I'm not terrified from failing. I lose the fear of failing. That's great. I am going to fail, but I'll try again. Exactly what you're saying, Mark. If I'm not great at it, I'll go for a second shot. I'll do better. I understand that people will say only fools do the same and expect different outcome, but I'm not doing the same. I'm going there with far more power because I'm more confident with feeling that the Lord is with me, and I'm using more of my inherited powers that I'm not using. So once I get to believe that if I fall, I will arise again, I'm getting rid of the anxiety and fear. And once fear is gone and you be yourself, which often we don't know who we are, we'll meet a giant, we'll meet an amazing collective power inside us that we never had a chance to unleash it because we are always afraid of failing or not meeting the criteria or not being in the box that people want us to be in that box. But if I get to free myself from that box and I accept that I'm going to be different, I'm breaking bones to fix bones, as Nina was saying, or I'm working with brains, as Steph was saying. We'll work with brains because that is what works longer term. You get yourself the power not to be afraid being in that box. So we get ourselves out of the boxes, we get ourselves to unleash the power, and we start seeing a plan in our minds what to do. Often, this plan happens in your brain without having to sit and say 1, 2, 3. These are my steps. But people are different. Some people are so organized and they want to put it like clear. Others are half ADHD, myself, or half dyslexic. And things happen in my brain in a magical way. And I love to say it's magical rather than dysfunctional. It's magical way. And I get to it. And what do I meet? First thing, I meet the inside of me. I meet the one that's liberated. I meet the one that's not afraid, the one that's not terrified from failing, the one that does not mind trying and trying beautifully without judging himself, without being worried to be judged, without being told you could have done better, because you know what? I know that I'm doing the best I can do, and if I don't do better today, I'll try again. So I am giving myself the message. So you find this power coming from the Lord inside you, from the power that the Lord instilled inside you. And you see something nicer, the sun. nicer than all the powers you can get. And that's the hand of the Lord that He is capable and willing to put inside you. And this gives you completely different feeling of comfort going through the second round, because you're not afraid. And if I fail, great. I know I'm going to arise again, and I have no time limit. I'm not scared of not achieving what I am trying to achieve. You don't ask, you don't get. Remember, He is standing by the door, but He does not crash into your house. So how do we connect? How do we invite the Lord to come to our life for us to be successful? It's different ways. Somebody might be able to do this while he is driving. Somebody would be able to do this while he's scrubbing through surgery, while he is having tears because he is feeling down and yucky and just saying, God, I need you, where are you? Others are more structured and they close the door, they stand and pray. But the Lord is going to hear you one way or another. And the Lord loves you to the point that your words are far more precious to Him than hearing the angels around Him. Where did I get this from? It's somewhere printed inside me from my childhood Sunday school. That's what I've been told, that when I talk to the Lord will actually listen to me. And Abuna can verify that for us, if this is just made up by my Sunday school teacher, or actually the Lord will hear us. Is it true, Abuna, that when we talk to the Lord would like to hear us more than the angels around Him?
I think the Bible literally says that God's a pleasure in humanity. So God's a pleasure when He loves to hear us. He pays, I think, more attention to us. Today, actually, in the letter, the verse from Isaiah was talking about, let us read, which means an invitation to just come and sit and talk. God loves.
So Abuna, I don't know if people online can hear Abuna or not, saying that God's pleasure is in human beings. And that makes me very comfortable to feel that when I am in tears, whether it's physically in tears or emotionally in tears, feeling like I've been defeated, I failed myself, I didn't do the right thing, I could have done better, just inviting Him. Go ahead, Mark.
I think, like you said, I could have done better. I like it because when we say I could have done better or nothing to my standard, for example, I expectations for myself, but let's say I'm on an airplane, I'm in India, for example, and all of a sudden the pilot has to do something and you say, okay, you're now you want to fly the airplane. Okay, I'll try my best, but I also have to be kind to myself. And so I think being kind and not expecting, not having high expectations where it's very challenging or unexpected situation.
So for people online, Mark was saying that when I say I could have done better, I need to be reasonable in my expectations, and I don't put my...
Given the circumstances,
Yeah.
Something, for example, I'm good at, and I know I can do well, so yes, it's a good thing I could have done better. But it's something, yeah, just do this job, for example, and I'm not, this is not my thing. I can't say, oh, I have to do like 100% performance or perform exceptionally well. No, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be to make mistakes here in front of like people, but just on the inside, if someone even judges me, well, you're not in my situation, you're not in my It's easy to judge with people. It's easy.
I think people who don't judge themselves are less likely to judge others. People like that who are kind to themselves.
Criticizing your actions and evaluating them is not the same as judging. That's like, I think that's what he's trying to get at. You don't criticize, you analyze and evaluate.
Just to get people in line to hear what Mark was saying that the task that you are putting expectation to it, if this task is not your area, not your expertise, and you're not doing great with it, don't kill yourself judging yourself, because this is the expectation that, hey, I'm supposed to fly an airplane, I'm not a pilot, so I'll do the best, so I hope I can land you on the ground safe, but I'm not taking you through an easy ride. And what Myrna said, people who do not judge themselves wrongly, they are less likely to judge others. And what Stephanie is saying, judging is different from evaluating yourself. You evaluate yourself and you have a correction plan or action plan, but that's not judging yourself, this is evaluating yourself.
I think that what Mark was saying is like to be honest to yourself. Would you do your best? And this is what you can only try to judge yourself on. Like I would say something personal. When I was in the final year to get like ثانوية عامة in the university, I didn't really study much. I was really crying. And yeah, I was so stressed out because all my friends started studying as soon as they finished like grade 11. They started studying, and I didn't have I don't know how the circumstances didn't work for me this way. My parents didn't like that. So I started late, and all my friends finished already the curriculum, and they're just about to start. And I used to just go to Abuna and cry that I'm not doing enough. And I had very bad alarm clock, and used to it was very high. So I wake up with very high heart rate, very stressed, and then I couldn't. So it was terrible. It was until now I get nightmares about that. And I used to go to Abuna and cry, and he would say, and Poland and the and they always say, what matters if you are honest with your time or not? Are you not studying because you are like doing something not supposed to do, or you are honest with your time and what you're supposed to do? And that would put things in perspective. Are you honest in your time? Are you honest in your the gift that God gave you? And at the end of the day, thanks God, I got into dentistry. And it was just God's choice. Like if I got one more degree more, I would have been in medicine, which I'm so grateful that I'm not, because I love what I'm doing. But it's just been always to check yourself with yourself. Are you honest in your time? Are you putting the right priority in that time? Like there is always time for everything. Like there is time for studying, time for going out with your friends, time going, for everything under the sun has time, as Solomon said. So, and that time of point, or that exact minute, are you doing the right thing in the right time, and are you honest to God and honest to yourself what you are doing? I think that's what matters. And when we look at Joseph, like always think about the verse about success. Joseph went in so many roller coaster, from the favored child to the slave to the prison to being the most the savior of the world, because he's the one who the grains and fed the whole world. So it just at every single stage, it's just being honest with what you are doing, or what you are doing, and then I don't think Joseph was thinking about when he was in the well that one day he would be the big man in the world, but at that moment, just do the best you can do, and don't, as Mark is saying, blame yourself if it didn't happen, but just be honest, the bottom line.
I do hope that people online were hearing what Hala was saying, because honestly, I loved it. If I won't summarize what you if I won't summarize what you said, what do you want me to say, Hala, for people to summarize what you said? Do the best.
Just to be, do the best in the given situation and be honest with yourself and to God that this is the gift you give me and I'm doing what I can do. I'm not trying to hide away from my responsibilities and or from being kind of pushing myself a little bit to do what I'm supposed to do.
So what Hala was saying that you do your best at a given time. Be honest with the gifts given to you from the Lord. Do the best for what you need to do at the right time. Feel strong enough to push yourself a tiny bit, but don't keep beating yourself if you can't, provided you feel that you have done the best you can do. Fadriya,
Someone was asking, does God hear when you ask? Does the Lord hear you when you ask? Is that happening? Is that in the Bible? Yes, it happens. When Hannah's, like Samuel's mom, was crying and praying to God to have a child, God heard her because she couldn't conceive any children, and then He gave her Samuel. And actually, He gave her more than Samuel after, like brothers Samuel. And another thing, God likes to educate us or talk to us or reason with us when Abraham, when God wants to destroy the city, and Abraham reasoned with God and said, God, please don't destroy it. When if you have like 10, would you leave the city, you don't burn it? And God said, yes. When if it's 5, if it's then God listens and reasons with us. It happens. And
so Tsoni was saying that to the answer to the question, does God hear us and listen to us? And she's saying from the Bible there are multiple examples. And from each of us personal life, you'll find that there are 1 or 2 things that touched you in a situation that is saying that God is watching you very closely. And I wouldn't waste your time sharing things, but in my heart, there are 3 small situations that happened in my life where I felt like the Lord really was so close to me, watching me, because this cannot be by chance. How He sends you a personal message, and you're lucky if you get this, because when you get a day when you're in doubt, does really God exist, or this is a story? Did they just like make this up to have organization called church and mosque and synagogue, and God does not really exist? It's all man-made. When you have these tiny, small episodes of personal connection with the Lord, it makes you feel like, I know He's there, and I really love being with Him. So I could not have asked for better from the input of do the best you can do at the time and don't feel beaten. Go ahead, Mark. Self-compassion. Mark is saying have self-compassion to yourself and don't really. Absolutely.
I think that a lot of people, if there are a lot of people rationalize that God gave us, like, I would say peace of mind, but I mean like the spirit inside us. And in a way, God is, you're saying God is watching us, but I think God is in some way very close because He's kind of inside us. And that the point is we have power to change our situation. But we do that by faith. Like, that's how I see it. If we have faith, if I can believe that I've already done what I have to do, I've already passed the exam, I've already got things going on, I've already, whatever it is, I have the financial security that I want. Because God has given us a promise, right? His promise, what is His promise? Is that you can have what you want if you believe that it is already ours. I feel like it's a bit of a weird way to look at it, but I feel that we sometimes claim to God as if He's so far when we don't realize that
He's always giving us like a credit card, like a father giving his son a credit card and he can buy what he wants to get it through the power that he's given us. We don't need to imagine that he's so far away and I need to like beg and fast and
I love what Myrna was saying. Myrna was saying that God is actually, part of him is inside us, so he's not that far away. He's not like, we don't need to beg and think, oh, he may hear us or he may not hear us. He is inside us. And that takes me to the previous 2 slides here. If I go back here and say, be yourself, the image of the Lord in you will shine nicer than the sun. The power in you that's given to you by the Lord is going to enable you to do things. All what you need is to unleash yourself from the fear and do not enslave yourself to what keeps you away from the Lord, what keeps you in the darkness. And that will lead me to Psalm 23, and I'm not going to read Psalm 23, all of it, but in the middle he say, we start with the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, and he restored my soul. So I shall not want. He is my shepherd, I shall not want. And this is exactly what Myrna was saying. He promised you that you will not want. Just like come to the wealth of your dad, and he has everything. You will not be in need. And if you do so, you'll find yourself free, jumping in the air with all the might you can get. You're not tied down. You're not feeling weak. You're not feeling... And if you're feeling weak and you can get out of your bed, this is a huge accomplishment, as Steph was saying. So let me go back. So this is supposed to be free and strong, not amen strong. So free and strong, willing to succeed. That's where we are now. We are free and strong. We allow the Lord to come to our lives. We are willing to succeed. And let's start by doing actions. At home. Let's start from home, because you can't love people outside if you don't love the people around you. So if I'm at home, starting to show kindness to the people around me, which is my daughters, my wife, my mother-in-law, the person that comes out and helps cleaning the house. These are the people in my house. If I start showing kindness to this bunch of people, and I start learning to forgive others for their actions, if I learn to make time for my family and accept love and praise when people give you love and praise, because we are very poor at that. Whenever somebody praise you or thank you, oh, no. Yes, we grew up to deflect achievements towards the Lord, but the Lord wants you to rejoice the gifts he gave you. If I make a full meal to Mirat and give it to Mirat, and Mirat just like, no, I feel like offended. So if the Lord made all that to you, and you don't acknowledge the gift he is giving you, and you don't accept love and praise from people around you because you want to be humble, which there is a fine line between being humble and denying the gifts given to you from the Lord. You need to be able to acknowledge that you are given power and gifts. You need to be able to acknowledge that you are in a good spot because of what God has given you, by allowing you to free yourself, unleash the power in you, and succeed. If we do so at home, if we go to work and do not waste our time and effort judging others. Judging others and comparing yourself to others eats you. It is the worst tactic that eats your life. You're wasting your life Hey, you don't know the person in front of you, what he has and what he has paid for, what he has lost, what are his feelings. But all what you're comparing is his job pays $49, my job pays $34. He bought a 4-bedroom house. I'm in a rental compartment or apartment. His car is a 2009, my car is 2006. Go ahead, Steph.
There's something that I once read. It was that when you're focused on working on yourself, getting to know yourself, you know, the saying, know thyself to know God. So you
Yep.
get to know yourself, you look at your own successes, your own pitfalls, your own everything. You get too busy with that to compare yourself with anybody else.
Love
So
it.
if you're comparing yourself, then you're not doing that self-examination, self-work properly.
So your hard drive is so occupied with things that doesn't belong to you, and you don't have space to process how do you grow, how do you get the power in you to unleash it and be powerful, because your hard drive is so occupied with so many sites that you opened, what Mark is doing, what Krista is doing, how John is doing, and hallelujah, where is my page? Where's my site? I'm too busy to open myself because I'm so busy getting incomplete information from others and feeling pity for myself. So if we learn how to stop wasting our effort comparing and judging, number one, we learn not to see badness in others, because this is a criminal offense in my eyes, to take the seat of the Lord and judge others and say, he is really bad, he's so whatever. This is taking all the grace out of us, because now we are putting ourselves in the seat of the Lord where we are not supposed to be there. We are setting our own judgment by judging others. So this is what we should free ourselves from. Don't waste your time comparing yourself to others. Don't waste your time digging into other people's affairs, please. So you don't see the badness in them. You become far less stressed, far less worried that I'm living in 2-bedroom apartment and she's living in 6-bedroom mansion. It's none of whatever. Then, if we have less stress and we don't see the badness, we are able to go the extra mile to the people around us at work. And when you go the extra mile, they see the Lord in you. They love you and they love the Lord who taught you to be good to them. And as they love you, they love the Lord, you're planting seeds of love into their hearts, even if they don't show it. And it will come back to you when you are having a day when things are getting super dark, and all of a sudden you find your colleagues stepping up and saying, hey, no, for Mina, we'll do this and this and this. You think, really? How is that? Oh, he's just like good at this, and we will help him out. So at home, we stop shying away from showing kindness, show kindness, make time for your family, make time for the people around you, accept receiving love and giving love to them. At work, we stop judging people, stop wasting our time. We put seeds of love by doing acts of kindness. If we do so, we accepted that we are not perfect. As Mark was saying, you're not perfect, but I'll do the best. We look at our strengths, we thank the Lord for one good deed that we do every day, so we remind ourselves how strong we are. Then we start liking ourselves, start getting confident that the hand of the God inside us is near, or inside us, as Myrna was saying. Then you allow yourself to do bigger things. Bigger things come from freeing the harder drive, as Steph was saying. When you are occupied with others, you don't have time for yourself. So free your brain from judging and comparing. You have less worry, you have more peace, you have more time for yourself to grow. Then the scale goes off from you being slave to your ego and to judging others, to be free by accepting you are not perfect. I can do mistakes, I can be wrong, I can say sorry because I have done something wrong, and this is your freedom. Your slavery is your ego and judging and comparing. Your freedom is feeling that, you know what, I'm allowed not to be perfect, I'm allowed to mistakes, I'm allowed to say sorry. That's my freedom. And that unleashes the person inside you, and your ego gets out of the way. If your ego gets out of the way, our goal was to love. We get the power from the Lord. We like ourselves and like our others. Ego is gone. We do good deeds. We reach the love. I will not repeat myself here because we are running out of time. I will go back here. So if we free ourselves, we listen to our hearts, then we go a step higher, start to listen to others who need our hands to lift them up. So number one, we listen to ourselves. Number two, we are listening to the people around us. Number three, we start to learn how to see the talents and the ability that others have. Because to love one another, we go higher to appreciate one another and to be able to celebrate and rejoice in how beautiful is the work of the Lord in others, not comparing ourselves and not judging. So I'm listening to my heart, listening to people. Now I'm appreciating the talents that Steph has and the talent that Myrna has. And this, how they describe this, Mina? Being breaking bones to fix bones. Must have a good word. The hard way of doing things.
That's right.
Okay,
No, hurting to men or injuring to men.
Start understanding what means from orthopedic point of view, bone people. Pardon me? Yagrah wa yasam. I love it. So, number one, we listen to ourselves, listen to others, start to see the talents in others. Now we start to enjoy the work of the Lord in our success and success of others. We start to celebrate the success of others. And if we reach that point, now we are free. And now we can really rejoice with our own success. If you are able to take your ego out of the way, take judgment away, take wasting your life comparing others, then you upgrade yourself to appreciating the talents that others have. Be able to share, celebrating their success. This is the real success I was hoping to reach. And once you reach that point, remember that you did all that with the hand of the Lord. So don't get arrogant that, hey, I am good. You go and humble yourself before the Lord. And remember that if you humble yourself before the Lord, He will lift you up higher and higher. I'm not going to run this one because we ran out of time, but this was the NYCC 2013, 10 years ago, where a bishop, Angelo, was saying, humble yourself before the Lord. I have the record of it, but I think we are running out of time. I don't want to be fired. So, love you all, guys, and I'm so grateful for your time and for your contribution.
Thank you so much.
ربنا يخليك لينا يا ابونا.
Few comments بس عشان
اتفضل يا
online.
ابونا.
Thank you, Dr. Ala. Well, obviously, this needs part 2. Now I learn بقى how to celebrate my own success. It's an introduction for me to celebrate my partner's success. And both of us to celebrate together success. And that will be that part 2, God willing.
Absolutely.
someone online is saying here, I think the imposter syndrome is when you actually reach success, but is still not embodying that or really feeling that, which means that's what Myrna was talking about. I achieve what I need to achieve, but I don't feel any reward or anything. What is preventing me by is what you all discussed about jealousy, comparison, or I
think that success is a state, not a goal.
State, bravo Ali. Success is a state.
State of mind, state of, it is not a
Absolutely.
goal. When I reach that, I'm successful. It is the way, the road leading to it, and it is not that we reached it, so we are successful and we're there. No,
Absolutely. It's a state, it's not a phase.
It has its success and
Yes, that's beautiful. I actually love the talk today. God bless you, Habibi. Really, really good. But we need a part two. How can we, both myself and my partner, celebrate success? What the importance of that? What does that do to our relationship? Another online comment, I think just got deleted. Got deleted again. Okay, it was actually someone was highlighting the importance of self-actualization. When I actually self-actualize, this is, I think, a very primary step to learning how to celebrate success. Thank you so much for the talk. Thank you so much, guys, for the comment. We will definitely have part two.
Great.
And part two would be the partners, the two members, myself and my other.
We'll add it to the list of
Yes,
subjects.
absolutely.
Great.
It's a wonderful talk.
It doesn't need to be like partners as married.
No.
Or it can be partner at work. It could be, it's like it's called dyadic.
Dyadic
Yeah.
relations, yes.
A relationship or a communication between two people.
Absolutely. It's funny that the disciples celebrated that with Christ. يعني nowadays I watch حاجة مع الفامily يعني about the life of people surrounding Jesus. That shows it's really good. I love it. يعني obviously you have to برضو filter what you see, but they came back rejoicing because of when Jesus sent them for that mission. They came rejoicing because they really managed to succeed in that mission. And Jesus celebrated with them. So there is nothing wrong about celebrating a success. Whether that is school, work, understanding, realization, anything. Thank you so much, Ala. This was really good. Any comment or question? Thank you so much. It was really good. I'm so happy to always see you, welcome you, and talk with you. Let us pray. Our Father, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God, amen. Thank you, God, for always giving us that spirit of success, not spirit of failure, spirit of encouragement, spirit of self-actualization, spirit of healthy interaction, spirit of seeing and understanding each one's ability. Oh Lord, you celebrated the success of the good ground, even the one that brought only 30%, because that's how much it could do at the time. Make us worthy to pray thankfully, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.